Calvin was a pretty cute and energetic calf, and he was born to a dairy cow mother in Ontario, Canada. Calvin was removed from his mother immediately after his birth so his mom could continue producing milk for commercial purposes, a common practice on dairy cow farms. When Calvin was taken away from his mom, the farm owners put him in an isolated pen where he could barely move his legs and head, again something that occurs frequently in commercial farms. The poor calf couldn't stretch his legs, but there were more dreadful things to be afraid. Unfortunately for the calves, male calves are useless for dairy farms as they doesn't produce any milk, and they are usually slaughtered. This would be the case for Calvin if some people under the name of Black Goat Farm and Sanctuary didn't decide to save him. Black Goat Farm and Sanctuary member were more than determined to save Calvin. They asked for the farm owner to give him to them, and this way they saved him from untimely death. The farm owner allowed them to take him with them in order to live out his days at a sanctuary. One would assume that our story ends here, but this was only the beginning. Black Goat Farm and Sanctuary weren't just saving farm animals from sure death, but they were also determined to provide them with love and care. They want all the animals to live a full and fulfilling life. When Calvin arrived in the sanctuary, he was immediately introduced to the other animals there. He didn't lose a second and Calvin started to make friends in the sanctuary. Later some dogs noticed him and decided to come close to him. What happened will make you say ah. The two dogs loved Calvin from the first meeting. It was love on first sight. They turned on protective mode for him and made him feel comfortable in his new home. One dog in particular developed a special bond with him. Lincoln, one of the two dogs that approached Calvin, seemed to really like him, and he would hardly leave him alone for a second. He was always keeping an eye on him, in order to protect him, as well as playing and eating his lunch with Calvin. A special relationship was forming. It was like somehow Lincoln knew about what Calvin had already been through, and he did his best to offer him the best. He helped him discover every place in the sanctuary, he played and ran with him as well as giving him time to relax and rest. They indeed were spending quite a lot of time together, getting drinks and eating delicious food. They were also enjoying the sunshine while sunbathing while enjoying the peace that the sanctuary had to offer. Of course Lincoln, being a dog, couldn't help and brought Calvin with him on his adventures. They were getting plenty of quality playing time and doing naughty things that were making the sanctuary owners laugh out loud. It was also obvious that Lincoln had something to do with Calvin's behavior. Calvin could constantly beg for more food, something that the staff assumed that he learned from Lincoln. Calvin had a great chance to recover from the dreadful things that he once was afraid of. Being born in a dairy farm isn't the best thing that can happen for a calf's mental health. Lincoln was like a mother for Calvin and Calvin seemed to appreciate it. Being torn apart from his mom in such a young age can be detrimental to a calf's health, and Lincoln was there to reassure that this won't happen. If it wasn't for Black Goat Farm and Sanctuary, Calvin's future could be depressing. Even if they didn't slaughter him right away, they would raise him in no healthy conditions and in an isolated space in order for him to grow and be able to mate with a cow. Megan Mostacci, co-founder of Black Goat Farm and Sanctuary, described later that their job isn't always easy and wonderful, and some animals may be treated worse when they are transferred to sanctuaries. She later explained her views on a Facebook post. A lot of people think that sanctuary life is fun, lots of animals to cuddle and get kisses from. I wish that were all true. While we are lucky and get to unwind with animal cuddles and love, it isn't always so wonderful. For everyone to remember the photo of Calvin and Lincoln, the rescuers decided to take very special photo, starring Calvin. In the photo, Calvin stands next to a tree, a symbolic gesture of hope and promise that if we work together we are capable to make a difference. We surely wish the best for Calvin and Lincoln, and we are sure that they will live happy and fulfilling lives in the sanctuary. And if everything happens, they have each other.
Thank you for watching this fantastic story. Please tap one of the two videos on your screen for another amazing Wonder Stories.